Hello again. Now, students at the Sefako Makgatho Health Sciences University in Pretoria have taken to the streets again in protest. This follows the suspension of a student and 3 SRC members. They are fuming as well over delays in NSFAS allowance payouts. The SRC there says the funding scheme has not made the payments since the beginning of the year. NSFAS, though, has promised that payments will be made by tomorrow. eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones is tracking that story. He's joining us now. He's back from that campus and with me in studio this afternoon. Pule, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on Today. So the protest continued today. Tensions were running a bit high. You spoke to the students on the ground. They're not giving up the fight.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit worse today. It's quite a mess. In fact, this comes after, like you've rightfully said, 3 SRC students, including 1 student as well, were issued out with suspension notices from the institution yesterday. This meant they were supposed to vacate the school or the institution premises today, which they did. But we've also now seen that the protests gained a bit of momentum, particularly in the morning as well, when students were frustrated over this entire process. This is similar to what we saw at the Wits University, where their president and some of the SRC members were suspended. These students from Sefako Makgatho University, particularly the SRC, is now fighting tooth and nail to have the suspension lifted, but they've also vowed to continue protesting if the institution does not attend to their demands, one of which is to now pay out the outstanding funding, which will then be used for their tuition fees, book allowance and food allowance as well. But they've also said that they've tried to reach out to the management. They're hoping that this can be a meeting that can take place so they can find a way forward. Let's take a listen to what the suspended president of the institution had to say earlier on when we spoke to him.
The problem is still simple. We want students to have their money into their account as soon as now, so we go back to school. It is very wrong that management somewhere at 9 yesterday suspended myself, of course, with the Secretary General and the school chairperson and one of the students here, who have been peacefully demonstrating of a problem they are aware of a problem they could have resolved long time ago. We told them we do not want to be here and we want to go to school. They said they want a letter of commitment from NSFAS. They will pay them on the 7th. They will process the money. But today they paid 1.4, which is not enough. Students have made commitment elsewhere, taken loans with the hope that by now the money would have been there. But now it's not there. Now they are creating 2 problems. Now the first problem that we are having now is that you are suspending a representative of students who is at that point because they are representing students with a problem you are well aware of and that you are supposed to have resolved long time ago.
Well, Pule, I understand the tensions really became a little bit hot there when the security moved against the students.
Yeah, things were ugly. In fact, we did manage to see how the private security was reacting to us as students. We got pictures and videos as well where students were actually, being, involved in a scuffle between themselves and the private security. Some of them alleging and claiming that they were badly wounded and assaulted by the bouncers, which is private security. That was also taped on video. Quite ugly scenes are unfolding just outside one of the main gates at the institution. And now the labor unions have witnessed this and they're quite upset with this. In fact, they want to take action. One of them is Nahau, who was there saying that they're calling for that urgent meeting between themselves, the suspended SRC members, the SRC committee, and of course other various stakeholders from the university itself. Let's just take a listen to what the unions had to say when we spoke to them regarding this incident earlier on.
It's totally unacceptable. I think it's way too unfortunate, but the fortunate part of it was that when it happened, we were there. So this is not hearsay. It was really brutally not nice. We saw 5 men beating a student with shambox. It's not acceptable. It's not supposed to be happening in our campus. And I think immediately when we saw that, we called the Vice Chancellor and told him that he must tell the private security to leave the campus immediately, because we feel that they're inciting violence. If you look behind, you will see that this is the most very, very, very respectful, very calm strike, where students are just striking for 2 things. that they need to get their books. I mean, the semester is long started. We're almost on the 4th month right now, and students have not received book. Students have also not received meals. The students are just fighting for a cause that is just. They need NEFSAs to come on board. They also need the university management to start distributing those funds so that calm can be restored and classes, the academic progress of the university, program of the university can be restored and everybody can return to class.
Unison as unions, as organized labor, that we in support of the students. At the same time, we are actually parents, and our responsibility is to see the students actually focus on the academic programs. At the same time, the issue at hand is NEFSAs, and it needs to be addressed.
That's the end there of that update from Sefako Makgatho University in Pretoria from Pule Letshwiti-Jones. Now.